What's up everybody, and Goes 5, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm gonna do a little bit of a challenge for myself. I'm trying to make a snake game as quick as possible in Unity. I've done no prep besides pre-making or preloading the Unity project itself, because it takes quite a while for me to load projects or to create new projects. So that's the only thing I've already done. But everything else I'm gonna do in this video. I'm trying to do uncut. So there's a heads up, I do stutter a lot and I do pause. I have long pauses in between sentences and all that stuff. So just a little heads up. But with that being said, let's go ahead and start. I think first I'm going to start with the artwork. I'm just going to make a quick square to represent the snake and the food and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in GIMP. And also there will be a lot of dead space in this video. I'm not going to be talking the entire time. So make a little white square there. Let's save, exports. Just name it square. Save to desktop. Yeah, whatever. I guess I already had a PNG of a square, but I'll just make a new one. Put it in there, and then this will be represent the snake, the head, and all that stuff. So we're gonna color the snake green, which is 00FF00. And this head, and we're gonna add a sorting layer for this snake. The snake, and this will be on there, and this will be number 1. And we're gonna say this as a prefab as well. And then we're gonna create a script to represent the snake segments and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and create snake scripts. So when I started learning programming, I started with C++, and snake is a good practice for beginners. So when I made snake, it's gonna be quite different from what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna do a little bit of kind of my own thing, but I'll show you real quick when this script loads up. So when I learned C++ and the way I was taught to do the snake game was to to have a class to represent the snake's body or snake segments, and that class will have a position and all that stuff. So let's do that real quick. When I learned the snake game, as I was saying, we were taught to the way I learned to make the game was to make the segments, to move the segments. You started from the back, and then that segment will go to the next position, or the segment that was in front of it, and then that one will go to the front, and on until you reach the head, and the head will be the last one to move. But I'm gonna do a little bit different. So in order to do that, and sorry if I ramble on a little bit, but the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna do public vector int two ints, and this will be the current position. So I'm gonna do position, and then next we have another public vector 2 ints, and this will be the last position. And then lastly a game object to represent the square. So instead of having to move the snake from the tail to the head with these 2 vectors, I can just move the head forward, and then when I move the head forward, the last position will be stored in the segment class, and then each following segment can follow that path without having to move from the tail to the head. So it's in my opinion, it's a bit more optimized than the usual way of doing snake. But you know, that's the good thing about programming. There's a million and one ways to do everything. But yeah, so I think that's all I have to do in here. Actually, I need a constructor in here, so let's do that. This is take a game objects, and then vector to ints, and position or spawn position, and then we're gonna do this game object equals game object, and then position equals spawn position, and then last position will equal spawn position because that was currently the last position. And then here we're gonna actually make a function to move the segment. So we're gonna do a move function here. Whoops, I got put the void here. And here we're gonna take in I think one parameter, just vector to int. Next, POS, and then we'll do last position equals position, and then position equals next position, and that's pretty much it. I think I don't think I'm missing anything else. Also remember to put the system that's serializable. Copy that, paste it there, and I think that's all I need for that. So let's go back into Unity, go into the head. Also, one more thing, I'm going to remove mono behavior, so I'm not going to be using that as a component. So let's go back in here, add a new script. We're going to make this the snake manager. Wait till it loads up. Okay, so in here, this is going to control the movement and all that stuff. So we're going to have a header here, name it movement. I spelled that wrong. And here we're going to have a public floats. Wait, no, I just need a public vector to ints, and to be direction, and a public floats move interval. This will be how often the snake will move. And I think that's it for now. So let's do private void update. Also, we need a private bool here. Move, set it to false. And here we're going to do if timer. Wait, I also need a timer. I'm so used to having already a private float for a timer. Wait, floats timer set to 0. If timer is bigger than or equal to move interval, now we set move to true, and set the timer back to 0. Else we're going to count, we're going to add to the timer by doing time.delta time plus equals, and then down here we're going to do a private fixed update. We say if move, we're going to move the game object, so game object transform position equals, or oh yeah, equals new vector 3. Wait, no, just do, I think you can do plus equal, right? And new vector 3 direction dot x direction dot y. Yep, that should be good. And then we'll set moving back to false. And I think that should be good. So we can test this right now. So we go in here. Let's do 0.25 for that. And oh wait, I forgot to do the input for the directions. You can do that. So we do if inputs dot get key down decode dot w, that means it's going up, so that'll be on the y-axis. So direction equals new vector to int, 0 for the x and 1 for the y. And basically we're just going to copy paste this. Oops. We're going to do else if, so it doesn't do multiple keys at once. Okay, so W, A, which is, I believe, -1 in the x. WAS, so that's -1 in the y. Oops. And then D, which is positive in the x, I think. So let's do that. Oh, let's set the default direction to up, I guess. Equals new. I can just copy paste this. There we go. Let's go back in here. It should be working now. Yep. Let me see if it starts automatically. No, it doesn't. So I think we need to do a private void awake. Maybe that'll fix it. Direction equals, wait, let's try this just to see if this works. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so that's good. I think we're just setting to the default of the values that was in here. So we need to set it on the wake. So that's good. Now we need to do the segments. So let's go back to snake, and here we're going to keep track of the segments. So we're going to do a public list of segments. And instead initialize it to a new list. And that's it. And then in here, instead of doing just the head, we have to do every single segment. So let's go down here, header, snake, and here we have a public snake, and then in here, instead of doing this stuff, you just cut that out, and then you do for loop. So for int I equals 0, I is less than snake dot segments dot counts I plus plus, and then in here we can do snake dot segments I. Well, first we need to check if it's the head, because if it's the head, then we need to move it manually based on direction. So if I equals 0, then we're going to do snake segments, or snake dot segments at I dot move. So snake dot segments at I dot position plus direction. And that's good. So we can copy paste this as well, and then do an else paste. But instead of adding the direction, we're just going to do last position, and we do a -1 or a -1, I mean, and that should do everything for us. So let's go back to here. Let's add some body or segments. So add a new square. And its name is body snake. Put it there. So let's go into the head and add, let's add 3 one for the head and two for new body parts or segments, whatever you want to call it. And there you go. Body. Let's duplicate that. Oops. And there you go. Let's move this one to in the X direction. So first one will be 1, this will be 2. Is that correct? Yep. So hopefully this will work first try. And nope, it does not work. So what did I do wrong here? Not exactly know. It should be working. Yeah, I have no idea. I feel like it's obvious, but I'm not seeing it. Let's press play, see what happens. Debug. Timers, time counting. Okay, it's apparently moving, but it's not moving at the same time. It's moving in the Y direction. Don't know why that is. Let's see. Wait, I know why. I'm not moving the snake segments in here. So I need to do game object dot transform dot position equals a new vector 3. We do position dot x and position dot y. There you go. That should work now. There you go. I can move the snake around. Easy. Okay, now I need a function to grow the snake. So let's do a private or a public void grow snake. And then in here we're simply going to do snake segments add, and we do a new segment, snake segment, and we do an instantiate. We do need a prefab, so let's do a public game object snake body prefab. Copy that. Instantiates snake body prefab, and its spawn position will be snake segments dot last dot position. Wait, not last not position. There you go. And I think that should work. Yep. We just need to make a prefab now for body parts. So let's do that. Put that in there. And that should be good. Add another one here. Make this a 2. Let's go in here and add a prefab. There's also, might as well add the food in here as well. So let's do food. Oops. Then red for the food. Let's put in some corner, 5.5, something like that. Also make this camera bigger. 20 should be a good size. Okay, so food, let's make that a prefab. And we're also going to make a script here for the food called snake food. And then all we have to do here is check if it collides with the snake. So let's add some tags to identify collision. So the head, we're gonna have a tag here for the head. Snake head. And one for the body, snake body. So in here, snake head, and then snake body. Also need colliders for all these things, so let's do a box collider 2D. For the head, I'm going to leave it as a solid collider, not a trigger. And then we're at a rigid body to detect collision. Set the gravity to 0, and then freeze rotation. Set to continuous. And then basically the same thing for both these other ones. Rigid body, box collider 2D. This one will be a trigger. And we're also going to freeze, wait, let me do this. We'll freeze the rotation. Set the gravity back to 0, and that should be good. And then same thing for the food. Box collider, this was going to be a trigger. And then a rigid body. Through, freeze rotation, and that should be good. So let's go back into the food script, and here we're just basically actually it's pretty simple. We just need, I think, one function. So private on trigger enter 2D. I'm gonna do if collision game object tag is equal to snake head. We're going to do collision get component snake manager. We need grow snake, and then we're going to randomize the position of the food. Instead of spawning a new food, we can just move this one. So we're going to do a game object transform position equals new vector 3, and here we're going to do a random range for the x and the y. But we need a variable to know the limits, so we're going to do a public vector, or a vector to map size, and then we're going to do a map size, or negative map size x to positive map size x, and the same thing in here. We also need to make it an int, so it doesn't have a fraction or have a decimal point. So same thing over here, map size y and map size y positive, and that should be it. So let's go back in there, push play. The snake should be able to grow, and the food should be randomly spawning. That was a bit weird. Oh wait, I didn't add the. Okay, why is my snake doing that? Maybe I didn't put this to a trigger or something. I'll put this as a trigger as well. Maybe that's the problem. Also, I forgot to put the map size. I'm gonna do 19 by 19. I think I know the spawning of the body part, or the snake segment is at 0, 0. So oh yeah, I need to put go back in here and then do this for spawning, and that should fix it. Whoops. Let's play. There we go. So yeah, we need to change the stats. We can't have the snake just going through itself, so we need to make a check in here so the player can't just invert the direction. So we need to do a and direction dot, what is this? It's the y. So it does not equal -1. Just copy paste +1. And here paste this. This is for the x. There you go. So that should stop us from inverting the direction. So I'm going up, can't go down, I can go to the left, can't go back, to the right, I can't go back left. So yep, that's good enough. Now the snake grows kind of slow right now, so let's add a way to add multiple body segments. So for that, we just need to do int amounts, and here we're going to do for loop. So int I equals 0, if I is less than amount, I plus plus. And every time we're going to add a new body segment. Put that in here. We can let's just do a public int row amounts. And we'll pass that value in there. So let's go back into here and set that to, let's do something big like 20 just to test it out. And let's see what happens. Oops, if I can eat the food. There we go. So right now the body just grows from the tail. It looks like the tail is just frozen, but it's actually just growing. And that's pretty much the game. There's nothing much else to do besides audio and all that stuff, but I don't think that's necessary for this video. See how big the snake is. Also, I just remember I need to do the collision for the game over. So it should be pretty easy. And now I'll just go through the snake. Okay. Let's go back in here, snake manager, and all I have to do is do another private on trigger enter 2D if collision dot game object dot tag is equal to snake body. We basically just need to restart the game. So let's see. Let's do let's just do a hard restart. So let's do a scene manager. What is that? There it is. Load scene. Wait, what's load scene? There you go. And then scene manager dot get back to scene dot build index, and I think that should work. Also, we need to do a private bool here just to keep track of when we die and all that stuff. Private bool is dead equals false. And then let's do the checking here to make sure we don't move after we're dead. So if is dead, we're just going to return. And that should be good. Let's also do that for all of these, just so nothing updates after we die. And that should be good. Also here as well, so we don't die multiple times. And then we do is dead equals true. Yeah, before that. And that should be good. So let's go back in here, press play. Eat this food. Yep, and then it restarts. So honestly, that's pretty much it. There's nothing much else to the game. besides a restart. I could add a game over screen and score counting and all that stuff, but it's not really necessary for a Snake game. Snake is pretty simple. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. We have a game over thing. Eat the food, grow, and game continues forever. I could make it a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and add a background image. So let's do a image. Let's just set it to fit the screen, and let's also set the canvas to the camera size instead of screen. Do that. 1920 by 1080. Let's just make this a good gray color. 31, 31, 31. And yep, that's pretty much it. I could add a border to the map area. But I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. Pretty simple game. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this video style. I don't know if I want to do this or not. This is just like a random video I decided to do. But if you like this type of content, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll probably just leave this project on itch.io or something if you want to check it out for yourself, maybe modify it. Leave that in the description down below. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. See you guys in the next video.